Hello, my name is Mike. Welcome to the Backyard Machine Shop. Well, we have the 17-inch Delta drill press ready to go back together. Had to make two parts. Had to take a few parts off the donor drill press. Had to make a cover for the electrical box on the motor, and had to video that. Had to make two 7/16 by 20 bolts for the base here. Now, I shot video of doing that, and I may post it at the end. I have a really good light on my Kingston lathe, and I was using it, and it kind of overwhelmed the camera. But anyway, let's get at it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take and mount the column. Now, taking the column and cleaned it up with transmission fluid and some Scotch-Brite. I thought about putting it on the lathe and polishing it out, but all it's going to do is rust. I like to leave the patina on it. It seems that it doesn't rust as bad. And we can put a coat of wax on it. And after all, it's just a shop drill press. So let me get you in a little closer. All right. Basically the flange here just bolts and clamps down on the drill press column. Okay, I have the base sitting on a mobile mover. That way I can wheel it into the machine shop and put it where I need to put it. So we're going to take the column. the table support is working good. Here's my oil key. Drop the oil down here. Let's see if we can get that fucking go on. Next, table. This is whey oil. It should stick on there pretty good. Table one. Now for the hard part. actually assemble this head. Good morning, guys. Well, it's another day. Still working on the drill press. Have to apologize a little bit for camera work prior to this. Thought I had the camera on, the camera wasn't on. And then, as I was putting the head together, the memory card filled up. But we got a fresh memory card, and as I can see, the camera's on now. And the only thing that was really missed was the final assembly of the pulley and the upper part of the quill, part of the spindle. So today, first thing we're going to do, we're going to put together the lower spindle assembly. This here is probably, from what I can gather, is the most important part. Delta prided herself in their setup here with the preload of these bearings, and the way they accomplish that is with these spacers. I've measured these. The smaller spacer is 40 thousandths bigger than the outer spacer, and what that does is when the bearings are compressed in here with the spindle nut, that loads these bearings. It loads this bearing on the outside of the race and this bearing on the outside of the race, and that's what gives you the accuracy in the spindle. So if you're ever working on one of these, it's very important, and I'm not sure, I have another one sitting behind me I could measure, but I'm not sure that these spacers are ground for each set of bearings. That sounds like a lot of work. As far as every drill press they built, they ground each, for each bearing they use, they ground the spacer for it, but it's possible. I'm going to put these back together the way with the original spacers, and I'm hoping that the preload's going to be what it should be. Another thought I had about this, and I may do this with this other spindle I have, is you can take, I think these are 50, I think it's a 5203 or 53 or 5203 bearing, which is a double row angular contact bearing, and it's already got the preload in it. It's I think these are 12 millimeter wide, and I think the double row is 17, so it's like 5 millimeters wider, which I guess that'd be a little less than a quarter of an inch. For some reason, it looks like to me, it worked. Doing that, making this part here shorter to accommodate for the width of the bearing, making a spacer here to accommodate the extended race on this bearing, and you'll have the preload already done. The rear bearing will be just a floater, and it seems that it can be done that way if for some reason this doesn't work out. But for now, we're going to put it together the way it came and get it installed in this drill press head. So, like I said, you got two spacers. You got an inner spacer. This loads the center race, and then you have the outer spacer, which gives you the difference in the two, gives you the preload. And I mean, it's simple. You just make sure you have the pieces turned the right way, and then you got a little gear here. And when I took this apart, I reached down in the quill and unscrewed it and pulled it apart. That's not the way it should come apart. After looking at it, after getting it apart and reading the literature a little bit, I've seen how this gear come apart. So I'm putting it back together the way it should have came, the opposite of the way it should have come apart. So it's a little bit easier. Sometimes you see how them things go. see, there's no load in that bearing, but when you put the spanner nut in the quill, that's what will do it. And then this piece here, it's got this little snap ring which can be aggravating. And there's a key cut in the gear itself that has to be just lined up just right. I think that's it right there. All right, let's find the key. There's a little key that goes in this little slot right here, and I don't think it's been a booger to keep up with it. And the snap ring slides down over the top. Alright, so we have our spindle back together. The nut's tightened inside. We need to lube it. Probably should have done this on the other portion. Okay. Now we got the quill. And I'm going to take and put a little oil in here just to see what that helps. Help things slide along. Nice and tight. And a spanner nut. Excuse me, it's time to wake up. Okay. So now, let's see. Replace the bearings on the motor shaft, and now let's put it back together. This isn't an actual slow speed motor pulley. I couldn't find the one I had. It's been several years since I picked up that drill press. I may have used it somewhere else. Anyways, I'll look for one on eBay. Well, that's about it for today. Still need to measure for the belt. Order the belt. Put the pin in here. Wire it up. I have a nice little Cutler hammer manual starter that I'm going to put on it. It's working. Like I said, it's about it for today. I'm not sure I like these colors. Well, I don't know if I like the white. The only difference is I probably would have done a gray. But I was trying to get away from gray. Everything I got is gray in that shop. Even the walls. So it is what it is. It's a drill press. Can't wait to use it. Should be able to get the belt in a day or two and get it wired up maybe tomorrow, Saturday. Until later, welcome your comments and please hit the subscribe button. Later.